Hello there, my name is Peter Thompson and this DVD is about one of the myths of golf. And I'm sure you've all heard the expression drive for show, putt for dough. It's great rhyming slang actually in golf magazines, golf articles. Drive for show, putt for dough. In other words, driving isn't as important as putting, because putting wins the top pros all of the money. Well, I don't think that's right. On my website I've got over 100 DVDs on various aspects of golf, but only 5 on putting. If putting was so important, I would have probably 95 on putting and only 5 on the rest of the game. In the new golf world, this is January 2018, I just get this magazine. It's quite a good magazine, but there are lots of other good magazines. This is the one. And when I go through the whole magazine, I can only find one article on putting. Only one. Lots of articles on driving, short shots, playing full position, etc. on how to improve your game, but only one on putting. So even in that particular magazine they don't rate putting that highly. Of course it's important, I'm not saying for 1 second that it isn't important, but I want to try and get you to realise that there are far more important things to get right than just to become a good putter. The average tour pro would score about 71 shots in a round, and the average tour pro will have about 29 putts in a round, which is good. Clearly it's good. It's 7 less than 2 putts per hole, but they represent about 0.1% of golfers. The other 99.9% of golfers, their average score is 100 shots a round. So if you scored 95 shots on average in a round, then people scoring that amount of shots take about 37 putts per round, which is still pretty good. If I could get that person to putt as well as a tour pro, he would now go around in 8 shots less, but he'd still score 87. He or she would still score 87. If somebody scores on average about 85 shots per round, they take about 34 putts. These are not my figures, these are from lots of research. So if this person scored 85, could reduce his putts by 5 shots, same as a top pro, then they would still be scoring 80 shots a round. So my point is this. We'll go back to the man who shoots 95, or the lady. They've reduced their putts by 8 shots a round, but they're still scoring 87 shots a round. How do you get the 87 lower than that? Well, I think I know. You need to hit less golf shots. This is the crux to me of golf, is to hit less golf shots. Putting is important, not crucially important. If you hit less golf shots by getting more drives on the fairway, not always using a driver, just drives on the fairway, second shots or third shots, or on a par 3 your first shot onto the green, then without improving your putting at all, your scores will come down. So how do we improve the shots? On my websites there are many DVDs, and some are really popular, and they all base the swing on the stance. Posture, stance, ball position, 75% of the shot. The backswing or the hitting position is another 20%. This is now 95% of the shot. Then there's the hitting bit. That's the best bit. Clearly that's the best bit. Hitting the ball is the best part of the swing. But that will happen by getting the 95% more or less right. Not always correct, impossible. One of my favourite sayings to all my pupils is, you will never get this right. And what I mean by that is, they will never get it right, but we'll try and get it as close as possible to it being right. One of my young pupils, his scores went down, his handicap went down from 23 down to 1 in just over 3 years. We didn't look at the putting once, not once. So I'm sure his putting average is about the same, but his handicap's gone down 22 shots, so therefore his average score's gone down by 22 shots, more than a stroke a hole, by getting him to stand at the ball better, hit the ball better, then you take less shots. Putter, obviously, quite important. But if you've got a full set of golf clubs, you're allowed 14 maximum, including the putter. So if putting was so important, you may well have different types of putters. But no one does that. You have one putter and 13 of the golf clubs, if you want to, if you need to. Some golfers don't always have a full set. But of the 14 clubs in your bag, only one is a putter. All the rest, different shaft lengths, different loft angles, and with the same swing, then you'll hit different shots. That's my take on the saying, drive for show, putt for dough. I've been teaching now for more than 50 years. I've heard that saying for more than 50 years. I never believed it, and I still don't. My first ever score, I started playing golf, I think it was about 115 shots. Around Blankney Golf Club in Lincolnshire, 115 shots. My putting, I think then, was still pretty good. My average putts throughout my life would be about 32 putts around. So from my first score of 115 to my best score, which is on the wall over here, of 66. That's a lot of shots less. What's that, 50 odd shots less? I didn't get 50 shots off my first score to my best score by having 50 less putts. That would be clearly impossible. I did it by working on my golf swing. My father was a golf pro, and he used to help me a huge amount, and I lived on a golf course, which also helps. But I improved my golf quite a lot by getting my swing better and practice my putting fairly regularly, just to make sure I could stick to having 32 putts around on average. Some rounds way less, other rounds way more, but the average is 32. So putting, yes, it's important. Please don't make it too important. Try and get your swing better, your stance better, your grip better, then you'll hit the ball on the fairway more often, on the green more often. With the same number of putts, your handicap will come down. That's fantastic. Many of my pupils, not all of them, the handicaps come down from +1 to almost +6, from 34 down to 17, by getting the swing better. This is my studio, and I give putting lessons in here, but not that often, maybe one lesson for each person, and then we just check it, make sure it's okay, and that normally is sufficient. I'm pretty certain this will help your golf. I certainly hope it does, and thank you for listening. Thank you very much.